Here's a quick guide to producing tables in HTML and CSS. There are tons and tons of settings for tables, so you can go mad and look this stuff up yourself. If you Google something like HTML, CSS, table format or table styling, you'll find loads of ways of doing it. Okay, we've got a very simple setup here. We've got a straightforward web page which has just got a header, title. It's got a link to the style sheet, and I'm going to drop the table into this space just here. Style sheet has nothing in it at the moment, and when we look at that page, that's all we get at the moment. That's just a header. So let's just put the table structure in here. Remember, you want your structure in your pages and the styling in the style sheet. You want to keep the two separate. So the table I'm going to put in as follows. It's going to be a table tag, and I'm going to add table row, and I'm going to put some cells now. I'll put 3 cells in. TD for table cells. No idea where TD comes from. I'm sure you'll find out if you Googled it. TD. And I'll just stick some text in here so you can see what's going on. There's what I call it as 1, cell 2, and cell 3. And if I control S that to save it over here, let's have a quick look. There we are. There's a start of a table. It doesn't look great at the moment, but that's the start of a table. Let's just quickly format it using HTML tidy, and it actually is formatted it a little bit too strongly. Let me just break that down a little bit so you can see what's going on. So there's a cell, and there's a third cell. So we've got a table, we've got a row in it, and we've got 3 cells, and each cell has got a little bit of text in it. Let's do a second row. If I was to stick a second row in here, if I just take that Control C, Control V, and now put in, say, cell 4, cell 5, cell 6. Okay, so we've now got a table, 2 rows, 3 cells in each row. Control S for that. Let's have a look. So that's our table over there. Now what I could do with it, I suppose I could do with some like header cells, you know, the titles for the top of the columns in effect. Well, we use that using a tag called a table header. So if I put those on, table header, and call this column 1, and I'll copy that, Control C, V. So we've got a table, those are the 3 column headings, Control S for that. Column 1, 2, 3, and that's pretty well it as far as the structure is concerned. I can decide what I want to put in those cells later on, but as far as structure is concerned, that's it. That's all we're going to do on the HTML page. Apart from one thing, I'm just going to give this a class name and call it my table. There we are. So I can grab that class from inside the style sheet. So any table that has this class name here will have the styles assigned to it that we set in the style sheet, which you're about to do now. So if I now Control S that's us pretty well finished with the home page. Let's have a look now at style sheet, and let's start styling this this class called my table. And the first thing we could do is look at the table as a whole and set some things for that. Let's do a background colour for the whole table. Oh, I don't know. Not a designer, as you can tell. We'll make the background colour pink. Let's have a look. Make sure everything's joined together. Press that. There we have got a background colour of pink. What else can we do? Let's stick a border 1px dashed below, stick a border around it, Control S that. Let's have a look what that did. Alright, and we'll let's expand it so it goes to, I don't know, 80% of the window width. And you can set these any usage. You could set it 400 pixels, 80%, whatever units you like. So this will now expand to Control S to 80% of the window. Okay, and so if we alter this window size here now, That's what it does. It stays at 80%, and you could do centering and all that sort of stuff if you want. At this stage, I'm just going to focus just on the table. Let's have a look at what else we can do. Let's say we want to align all the text in there as well. So we want to grab the headings and the cells and make sure they're all aligned. So the way you do that is you say my table, and we have we grab the table headings, and we do my table, grab the cells, and we say for those text align center a link. I mean align. Let's have a look. Text align. Just a second. Align GN. I don't know what I was doing there. GN. So Control S. That should center everything nicely for us. So it's done the headings as well as the cells. That's pretty good. What about let's give these cells a board. So we do .my table and just the cells. Let's say I want to give those a border 1%, so solid, something like that. Control S. I want to set that. If I go over here, you'll see it's given those cells a border, but there's like there's a sort of a border thickness to it, which is not quite what we want. So what we want to do is just go back up to the whole table settings and say border, and change the setting for border collapse, and we'll actually make it collapse. Collapse. That should collapse the border for us. Look, it's something like that. Okay, that looks a little bit better there. And what else can I do? What about heading? Let's grab those heading there, table header cells, and change the font of those. So if I do .my table table heading, we'll just grab those. What this is basically saying is all the table headings which are within any table which we've given that name. Okay, so it won't do all table headings. And this one here won't do all table cells. It'll only do the table cells within the specific name that we've given it. So table heading. Let's change the font variant to small caps. Give it a sort of an old world publishing feel. Control S that. Have a look. Oh, done something wrong there. Oh, variant. Control S. There we are. And what else can I do to it? Oh, let's have a look at padding as well. Let's have a look at the cell padding here. So if we do .my table, let's have a look for the cells. In fact, we've already got one going for cells, haven't we? Let's go back up here. We'll put that in here. We'll do padding, I don't know, 5 pixels, something like that. See what that does. Control S over here. Let's give it a bit of padding. Let's experiment with that. If we made it, I don't know, 25 pixels. Control S. That gives it that. Let's change this that to 10. Control S. Press that. This is how you experiment. That's what I want you to do. Once you've got these things, I want you to alter the settings and break things and just see how it alters the how it alters the table, and you'll start noticing things like this, the sort of the line up of different thicknesses of borders and so on and so forth. But that should get you up and running as far as a table. Remember, what you're doing is you've got your structure is all in your HTML pages, and your styling is all done in the style sheet. Have a go.